Hi, it's about 3 hours since the last time I was speaking about this. So the applesauce is done cooking. By the way, it doesn't usually take 3 hours. Just I had to go to the vet, and my dog is doing great. And in fact, here he is. There's Kipper. Say hi, Kipper. Kipper says hi. And he's doing great. Took him for a walk. Had to mow the lawn. But now I can finish the applesauce. So here, I'm going to show you what it looks like. So I've smashed it, mushed it around, stirred it. So now it'll look something like this. There's the applesauce now. And by the way, there's Kipper again. There's Kipper again. Hello, Kipper. Say hi. So, by the way, if you're ever cooking if you need a license to cook, if you want to sell your stuff, I think, at least here in Pennsylvania, I think you're not supposed to have any pets in the kitchen. But I'm not selling this. So I guess I'm okay that I touch my pet while I'm also cooking my applesauce. Anyway, so now the last steps, and I'm sure if you looked at the applesauce now, it has very nice texture. It's still warm stuff, but no, it has a nice chunky texture. You can see it's a kind of golden brown. That's from the cinnamon, the honey, the apples, all of it combined. You can see how the apples have mashed nicely into the water. So now I'm going to get the jar. And really, my final step before serving is I'm going to put this give it a chance to chill. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in this jar. And some people might like the applesauce hot, but I don't know. I when I think of applesauce, I always imagine it chilled. It's like apple cider. Some people in the autumn season like hot apple cider. And that makes sense when it's really chilly, like in November. But typically, even I like apple cider as a cold drink. Apple drinks, apple juice, apple cider, I imagine as cold drinks. But anyway, now I want my container of homemade applesauce. We'll put it in the refrigerator for it to cool for the next few hours or even overnight. And then by tomorrow morning, it should be perfect for, you can eat it by itself, put it on toast. Heck, you can even mix it with oatmeal and many things I can do with that applesauce. So once again, here are the steps. Basically, this is my recipe. First, cut 3 apples. And there are different people who prefer different apples, but I tend to believe you can do it with most. That, I would say, just experiment, see which apples, give you the best flavor. 3 apples, 2 tablespoons of honey, 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, a glass of water. Cook the apples in the water. I today put the honey and the cinnamon together with that, although you could also cook the apples with the water and then add the honey and the cinnamon after it's kind of been mashed. Let the water, heat up and either boil or steam for a couple of minutes. Don't have an exact time there yet. And give it a chance to simmer. Ideally cover it with a lid. And then while it's cooking, as the apples get softer, mash it with the wooden spoon. And then eventually, after, about an hour or so, it should take on a more apple, it should have more of a texture and shape of applesauce. And put it in a jar to chill and it should be ready to go. So I hope you enjoyed learning how to make homemade applesauce for me. I can continue making videos like this. And I hope you enjoy the meal and have a great weekend. So thank you. Bye-bye.